Welcome to the GTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. A Jamaican woman is now Queen of the Iyo Kingdom of Nigeria following her marriage to King Abdul Rashid Adewale Akambi earlier this year. The Jamaican Gleaner reports that Channel Chin, age 32, met the king in Canada, where he resided before ascending the throne. After becoming king in November last year, he took the title of the Imperial Uluwu of the Iyo Kingdom. Channel is the daughter of Rastafarian reggae artist Ludlow Chin, better known as Bobo Zaro, and Marion Morgan. U.S. Customs agents teamed up with the Coast Guard and the Navy to land a Big Fish, a submarine-like ship being used to smuggle more than 5 tons of cocaine worth $200 million to the U.S., authorities say. The seizure occurred on March 3rd in the Pacific Ocean of the Central American coast. Customs officials had spotted the vessel from a plane. It was painted blue to make it difficult for our guys to track it from the sky, but we have a lot of training doing this, said Customs spokeswoman Yolanda Coates. The ship was tracked by Coast Guard and Navy planes for 2 days until a cutter caught up with it. 4 men were turned over to federal officials. Global Shipping, spearheaded by former Dominican Prime Minister Oliver James Serafin, has launched a new shipping service to provide OECS farmers and other exporters and importers with a safe and reliable service for the inter-Caribbean trade market. The shipping service was launched here in the BVI on March 22nd and will be operating out of the US and British Virgin Islands with trade routes to Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, and St. Martin, along with Antigua and the Dominican Republic. The initiative provides the motivation and confidence that the Caribbean farming and business communities need to increase production through the availability of boats to transport goods that are produced and source products needed for production, said Oliver Serafin, president of Global Shipping.
Over the years, what transpired is that the shipping capacities did not come to the expectations of the importers here. And in fact, the United States Department responsible for Coast Guard did find very strong resistance towards giving us access to their territories, for the reasons being that the shipping vessels did not meet the required standards. As a result of that, I believe that even the World Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the CARICOM and OECS secretariats have come to the conclusion that there is a missing quotient in the process of trade among the Caribbean countries, and that was brought about by lack of adequate shipping from the indigenous shipping from the Caribbean. Tropical came in and did what they have to do, but their time schedules does not match the required time frames of the business houses in the respective territories. So Global Shipping has come on board, and we have then decided that we will focus within the territory of the USVI and the BVI. And the BVI in particular stands out for us as a major area of interest for various reasons. It's an island with a number of persons from various islands in the Caribbean. We know that there are a large number of Vincentians, Dominicans, Antiguans, Lucians, St. Kittians, and of course Antiguans here. And each and every one of them have their own desire for their homemade products.
The MV American Liberty is expected to leave BVI on April 10th and USVI on April 11th and arrive in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on April 14th for cargo, with a stop-off in St. Lucia and then to Dominica on April 18th before returning to the BVI on April 21st. The OECS Commission, in collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, under the 10th EDF program, has begun a series of train-the-trainer programs in Good Agricultural Practices Gap Audit, which started in Dominica on March 30th at the Flamboyant Hotel. The 3-day training program includes classroom sessions and the practical exercise of auditing a selected farm. Agriculture economist at the OECS Commission, George Alsey, says the training is targeted at extension officers and private sector stakeholders.
This GAP training is utilizing a manual which was developed under separate consultancy. The 10VDF OECS program is responsible for the actual consultancy to conduct the training. ICA in this leg is responsible for part of the national logistics. The GAP training course is really designed for extension officers and private sector stakeholders along the value chain, and that will enable them to assist farmers in attaining high standards of food safety and quality performance. In particular, the extension officers and private sector stakeholders will receive training in conducting the audits of a farm, because this session will be both in terms of classroom sessions and a practical exercise in farm auditing. And of course, with the ultimate goal of allowing these farms and the products to be certified under an appropriate system for inspection and certification.
The training schedule involves Dominica March 30th to April 1st, St. Lucia April 4th to 8th, St. Kitts and Nevis from April 11th to the 15th, Antigua and Barbuda from April 18th to the 22nd, as well as St. Vincent and the Grenadines during the week of April 25th. And coming up next on JTV News, several young drivers are getting behind the wheel without a driver's license. And government officials tell Paraquita Bay farmers there is no need to worry about sewage sludge being stored in that area.